So, like, with the conception of the alien coming out, I feel like it's really difficult to figure out what exactly the alien power-wise is possibly going to do that none of these killers already don't do, you know? Because I think there was the concept art, right? There was that alien concept art where the killer literally just played like a blight, except it played, instead of bouncing off of like walls, it bounced off of people. So like if the alien rushed at you and it hit you, it can rush at you again and then hit you again. And the problem is that it couldn't like turn. It only can go in a straight line. So if you can somehow like dodge out of the way, you're basically fighting like an alligator. Like the alien was an alligator. They run really fast straight, but they have no turning to save themselves, right? At least like the blight can do that. If it did have a vent in any way, shape, and form, like demo, that would be cool. But like, we already have that. Like, I would have assumed that the alien skin was just going to be a skin for demo, but it's not. It's genuinely going to be a new killer. And then I forgot who. So I was told that people were thinking that it's going to basically function like Deathslinger, where the killer has two methods of attacking, where you have both like the normal like slash, but then the tail, because the tail is super long, so it has the capabilities of being able to attack with the tail, and it basically functions like a range attack. But we have that in the form of like Deathslinger. There's like Nemesis, right? You got Trickster, kinda, sorta, and like Huntress. So I have no idea how they're gonna possibly make Alien a new and unique killer while keeping it like true to the lore of what the killer is and does and functions. So, because like a demo skin just makes sense, but the fact that it's a new killer, I don't know what they'll do. Because, like I said, what could you possibly do for the artist that'll be, or for the alien that'll be different, right? Like I have no idea. I was trying to figure it out. I have no idea, because like I said, I think that the issue that DBD poses currently is just that they need to make it possible for every killer to be playable on every single map, no matter what map it is. And if the alien was able to function very uniquely and different on its own map because it's an indoor map with the vents and like and how it travels in isolation, then I think that would have been so fire. But I don't expect them to do that. So we can already kind of scratch that idea off. The other idea I was thinking of, because in Alien Isolation, there's like a scanner, and you literally use it to track the alien's movement and positioning, and it blinks more if it's closer or that kind of thing. It'd be cool if everyone had that scanner, and then used it to basically get information about where the killer is. Like the alien, if it was like invisible and you use the scanner to track it, right? Then I think that'd be really, really interesting. Because I don't want to hear like another tear radius. I would love for them to be able. That's actually a great idea that they give a it. Because like I'm already taking the prediction that the alien will be a stealth killer. I do think so. And for it to use the scanners as a way to be stealthy, I think they can make it simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. Because like Singularity is complicated, right? You have to shoot the things onto the walls, it tracks the people and it shoots them, and then if they have it on their back, then he shoots to them, he can teleport to them. Like, that's so complicated, right? Skull Merchant is even more complicated because she has to put down the bots, the drones, and then if they detect them and they get exposed, then they can, all that is so complicated. I would just like to be very... I'm okay with Alien being very simple. Like, imagine this scenario, right? Um, Alien is just invisible, kind of like how Freddy is, right? At a distance. At a distance, like you can't see the alien because it's invisible. When it gets closer to you, then it'll be visibly seen, right? And then the only thing you have as a tool is is a scanner, and the way how it and if it blinks, then that means that the killer is like nearby, and that's the terror radius. I feel like that would be so interesting because you shouldn't really need to hear music of the killer like coming near you. I think if the scanner was the only way to know, I think that'd be so scary. Because it'll even make Alien scary on like a normal map. But like if there's no way to um have that be applied to every map, then I feel like that'd be kind of weird. So And I think that, you know, it's really difficult for them to basically bring out like a ventilation system for every map, because they got to design that for every single map. So like if you know it's an alien, and if you just start seeing vents all over the place, and they look like they're in the air, right? It just wouldn't look good if that was what it was for Alien specifically, because like it's not going to make sense that there's just a ventilation system magically in like Erie's, right? Because it's like, what is this doing here? Like, you know it's Alien because you see that, but then it's like that doesn't really bring a lot of fear factor to the game, because you can see it visually. But if you couldn't see it because the map was indoor, then it's like, oh my god, like he can appear from anywhere. So I have literally no idea. So and that's my problem. Those are I only have three ideas or three theories about how Alien will function as a killer. The other one I think I just came up with is that like there's the pods, right? And I think like what there's like other aliens growing in the pods. So like the alien could be like an information stealth killer, right? Where like the pods are pulsating something, and then if the alien goes near them, they kind of act like a little radar, right? That could be a thing. Um, but that doesn't make sense to me either, though. Because yeah, there could be like newborn baby aliens, something of the nature, right? Um, but then that just reminds me of like twins almost. So like, who cares? You know, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think like there's so many ideas about how the killer can function, and I think that no matter what they end up doing, it's going to be a really great idea, but it's not going to be to the same level of what I think that they could design if the killer had more indoor maps, basically. So, what if hooking and using certain actions allows you to summon minions? I mean, but then what? That's like zombies for Nemesis, right? Like, that's just a similar mechanic. So I think 100% Alien will be a stealth killer. I think that's a guarantee. But it's going to have a secondary mechanic that involves something with the environment. But I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Because again, like if it summons minions and aliens, like, but what do they do though? You know, do they just like make a noise if somebody's nearby? That just sound like I said, like that reminds me of like Singularity and like Nemesis a little bit. So I just don't think that the killer should really have like a um or it could even be like Onryo, where like the aliens, you know, if there's too many aliens in your system, then if the meter gets full, then you can get instantly moried, right? Because that's what happens in isolation. Well, not technically, but like, you know, if you're hiding from the alien and you know, let's like you're in like a locker and the alien finds you, he just instantly one-shots you. Like the Alien Isolation game, you're getting one shot by the killer every time he catches you. So like, you know, the problem is that in the movies, uh, they don't really fight back, sort of. And in the game, you don't fight back at all unless you have a certain weapon. But in DBD, there's no weapons. We don't have any firepower to fight back the killer. So how are we going to be able to even apply that situation in this game if it doesn't exist at all, you know? So, like I said, I have no idea. So I think everybody has their theories and their ideas and what they think about, but like for us to be getting an alien killer, I think it's just going to be very similar to Demogorgon. That's my expectation. It's going to be Demogorgon, except the alien is stealthy. That's the only difference. Because even Demo has a lunge and can travel through the portals. I think the alien will be able to travel through portals, sorta, or like vents or something, but it's just stealthy. I think that's the only thing I can expect from this. I don't know. I mean, you'll have to let me know, you know, everywhere, comments and all that other stuff below, just to kind of figure out like what exactly it could be. But I have truly no idea. My theory, final answer, is it's going to be functioning very similar to Demogorgon. Final answer. So we'll see.